Hello, welcome back. The world of reality TV thrives on drama, but sometimes the biggest shock doesn't come from the cast, it comes from the person pulling the strings behind the cameras. After years of speculation and hints, Carlos King, the powerhouse producer behind Love and Marriage, Huntsville, finally admitted something fans had suspected for a long time: he doesn't like LaTisha and Marsau Scott. His confession isn't just juicy gossip. It reshapes the way viewers now interpret past seasons, editing choices, and even the show's future. For a man known for keeping the chaos controlled, stepping out and saying this publicly was like pulling the curtain back on how reality TV is really made. Carlos has built his reputation by creating unforgettable moments and storylines that explode online. His talent for drawing out tension and amplifying conflict has made him one of the most successful figures in the industry. But no matter how professional someone tries to be, personal feelings have a way of seeping through. LaTisha and Marsau have been at the center of Love and Marriage, Huntsville from the beginning, with their marriage struggles, public arguments, and bold opinions keeping them in the spotlight. For Carlos to admit he doesn't care for them personally forces fans to revisit the show with fresh eyes and ask whether the negative light they often appeared in was less about their choices and more about the producer's hand behind the scenes. From season 1, the Scotts presented a naturally combustible dynamic. LaTisha came in as a strong-minded wife trying to balance family and business, while Marsau often played the role of the traditional, sometimes stubborn husband who wasn't afraid to make controversial remarks. That tension made them magnetic television, and Carlos leaned into it. Fans saw marital arguments, rumors of infidelity, confrontations with other cast members, and editing that sometimes highlighted Marsau's arrogance or LaTisha's defensiveness. Over time, the Scotts became the couple people loved to criticize. But was it organic drama, or was it being amplified by Carlos's dislike? LaTisha and Marsau themselves seemed aware that the spotlight on their flaws felt harsher than on others. Though they never fully confronted Carlos publicly until now, there were moments where they hinted at feeling targeted. Still, they played along, likely recognizing that controversy meant screen time and relevance. On the surface, Carlos and the Scotts occasionally showed camaraderie at events or in interviews, but with his recent confession, many wonder how real those moments ever were. It raises uncomfortable questions. Were they victims of bias? Did Carlos deliberately push storylines that painted them negatively because he didn't like them? Or was he simply maximizing their natural drama for ratings? The reasons behind Carlos's dislike could be layered. Some believe the on-screen chaos became too real off-camera, wearing down his patience over time. Others think it was a power struggle, with the Scotts resisting certain narratives, negotiating for better contracts, or challenging Carlos's authority. Personality clashes can't be ignored either. Carlos and Marsau both have strong, confrontational energies that were bound to collide. And of course, there's always the possibility that Carlos's admission was strategic, another way to stir up buzz and keep the show trending. After all, controversy fuels ratings, and when even the producer becomes part of the story, the stakes get higher. Fans, naturally, exploded once his comments surfaced. Social media split into two camps: those who felt vindicated, believing the Scotts had long been unfairly targeted, and those who applauded Carlos for saying out loud what they'd already thought, that LaTisha and Marsau were messy and defensive. Hashtags trended, reaction videos circulated, and old interviews and shady remarks resurfaced as fans pieced together a history of tension. Cast members didn't stay quiet either. Melody Holt threw subtle shade, Maurice Scott criticized producers inserting themselves into the narrative, and Kimmy Scott took a diplomatic middle ground by acknowledging that bias happens in reality TV. Marsau responded with sarcasm while LaTisha went emotional, vowing to protect her family from being torn down. Beyond the drama itself, Carlos's confession raises a bigger issue about the ethics of reality TV. Should producers admit bias? Does it ruin the integrity of what audiences are watching? Some argue it humanizes Carlos. He's allowed to dislike cast members just like fans do. Others say it crosses a line, proving that the show's narratives aren't as real as they seem. And if the Scotts choose to use this against the production, by demanding better pay, legal leverage, or even threatening to walk, it could spiral into something much bigger than gossip. At its core, Carlos King's admission cracked open a reality that fans always suspected but rarely got confirmed. It's a reminder that behind the editing, the storylines, and the confrontations, reality TV is still shaped by human feelings, biases, and decisions. Whether this ends with the Scotts gaining more power, being phased out, or the show's ratings skyrocketing from all the added controversy, one thing is certain: love and marriage, Huntsville will never be viewed the same way again.